Yo! What's going on, guys? We're back with the motherfucking greatness. Lord Murata has blessed us once again. And you know the heroes got to come and deal with these types of things, bro. So, we got 101, Zombie Man versus Pureblood. Spectacular ass fucking chapter. Spectacular ass fight. Murata always does what he has to do. But I'm not the only one here. So let's introduce all the rest of these hero ass niggas. What's up, Satsuki?
Yo, man, what up? I called this shit. Check the tapes. I said we need a zombie man fight, and we got it. Rada, thank you for listening.
What's up, Zhoniin?
What's up, you fucking motherfuckers? It's your motherfucking boy Zhoniin here.
Someone released the seal on him.
ready to fuck this chapter.
Whoa,
Let's fuck this bitch, boys.
What's up, Matt?
Hello. Yeah, no, this is a good chapter. Like, yeah, it's pretty much like the best kind of like, this is a character, this is what he can do, let's move on with the story kind of chapter. Good.
Yeah, greetings. I like that the chapter was very condensed from what we just got out of, where that dragged on way too long. But, you know, revisionist art and all that. I very much enjoyed it. Action-packed.
I like it.
There we go. Thanks for watching the thanks for watching the podcast, guys, and cool.
We'll see you next month.
Alright, so I guess to hop into this shit, I want to break the ice with the obvious one. It's going to be stereotypical, but we're going to go with it. Probably get past it fast. Is Pureblood dead?
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, I'd say.
He better be dead. That's all I'm gonna say. He fucking better be dead.
It's like, how do you kill him otherwise after what he was left?
Well, the reason why I say that, and this is like really picking like little shit out, he obviously regenerates by drinking blood, whether it's human, monster, even zombie man. He said it was so disgusting, but he didn't say he just couldn't swallow it. It was almost disgusting that he couldn't swallow it. So it looked like when he was left there on the ground that the bats that were initially on him in the first panel changed and that he got a little bit more of his head back. So I'm under the impression that if he can drink the blood at any time, like as long as it's blood, dead ass body juice, whatever it is, if it's there on the ground, can't he suck it up? Can't he just reform and then be alright? Because there's blood everywhere. We saw that.
He would have to be able to reach it, though. Unless his tongue goes like xenomorph or whatever to lap up any, nearby. He ain't getting it.
Yeah, the man dead, man. Like, after he got murked, zombie man locked himself with the rest of the monsters. We don't know how long they fought, but if he were to revive, I don't see why he would wait that long to revive.
All right.
Also, there's a mushroom monster that's just looking to decompose his rotting ass. It's like, I'll just body slam him and he'll be gone. It'll take a minute.
So then let's hop into the first part then. Zombie Man. This is the first presentation that we got about Zombie Man in terms of fighting. Besides him chasing after the armored gorilla, or pretending to chase after the armored gorilla and then meeting the association, the evolution house. Excuse me. I didn't know what to expect from him besides the immortality thing. What did you guys like? I know you guys read the webcomic, but like in contrast to what the manga showed or whatever, what is your opinion about Phoenix or about Zombie Man starting off?
As far as I know, no one has read the webcomic besides me.
No, I think Matt has.
Yeah, I was pretty sure Matt.
No.
Huh.
Oh wow! All right.
Definitely not me.
Shit, we good. All right.
From what I've seen of the guy up to this point, which to be honest, not been that much really, unless I'm just forgetting something other than like a side story. I like that he seems to be better than he used to be because, like, didn't he have like a time release on how quickly he could regenerate? Right?
Nothing is ever stated about Zombie Man.
Oh, really? Then where did I see that? But anyway, it seems like he's quicker than previous appearances on his healing, and I like that. It shows growth. But the like, I didn't think he'd pull out the machetes though. Like, how much other shit he's got in that damn trench coat. But I really don't know what to say. I'm liking his character more.
Yeah, he's just the best way I can describe him. He's just one of these characters. You look at him, and you just go, he's just cool. Like, he's got a great design. He's got cool powers. He's got cool weapons. He's interesting enough because, like he says, he's not the best fighter, so he compensates with that by fighting a bit differently and a bit more recklessly with his ability. It's just like everything about it, like a cool outfit. I think obviously like the great art always helps with this, and then it's also like the potential of him as well. I won't talk about too much just in case we talk about it later, but like with how he uses his weapons, he's cool, and it's such a great chapter for him just to be introduced in.
Pretty much the only thing I knew about Zombie Man prior to this chapter was that he couldn't die, and I don't know if it was ever stated earlier when all the S-class heroes were introduced, but I know definitely the OVA showed Tatsumaki trying to kill Zombie Man, and of course it didn't work. So that was like pretty much the only thing I knew about him. The rate at which he regenerates. What happened?
So that shit was hilarious.
Oh, when she killed him?
Yeah. Drunken stupid shit.
Well, tried to kill him, I guess.
But the rate at which he regenerates was the most impressive thing in this chapter. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting what he was doing with the guns and the axe, because when we just seen him riding the, what was it, the bus or the train? I'm not really sure. He just had his axe in his hand. Yeah. And there was also another, I think the cover page showed him with the gun in his hand and the axe. So I was expecting him to fight with those type of weapons. I didn't think he was going to have any other method of fighting. So yeah, he's like a Van Helsing, basically, vampire hunter.
Shit.
Well, he was in this chapter.
That was a good movie, or at least iteration with what's his face, the Wolverine guy, Hugh Jackman. That Van Helsing version was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
Yeah. The girl was hot too. She was hot.
That was the only reason you watched it or continued to watch it, Grimm. Be honest.
No. I like vampires. That's one of the reasons why I thought this fight was gonna be really good. I actually wanted to get more from Pure Blood. That's why I was kind of like trying to push the mental initiative that Pure Blood is still alive. Because you know how science works. That if a lot of humans think about something, it'll come true. So if I'm gonna get all these One Punch niggas thinking about Pure Blood coming back, he gonna come back.
Boy,
But
what?
You're gonna push that. You're gonna
What
push your
school did
magic
you
on
go to?
Murata.
He's not a being of science. It doesn't work that way.
He's literally the opposite. He's supernatural.
Yeah, supernatural science. It's all the same. Come on, read a book.
What's up, Sundown?
Man, I loved it. I loved this entire chapter. I liked how it kind of gave me this vibe of like, it reminded me a bit of like a cross between Resident Evil 4, so Leon, in that he was kind of the main character in that, kind of Van Helsing-y, and then it kind of gave us that old school monster movie vibe with the whole zombie versus vampire kind of thing. So I was just enjoying it. I loved his range of weapons. His twin blades, awesome. I loved he's got like his buckshot variety of his pistols. Those are awesome. Broke his arms. I thought it was a dope chapter.
Did anyone else notice like the red lines that were on those special magazines?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, sir.
Why would that one thing be colored?
There's a few theories to this. So first of all, I think it's just like a fun little thing that Murata decided to add to the chapter, just to place emphasis on the clips themselves, because we see how destructive they are. And then there's also the theory that it's just a straight up mistake. Maybe it was like some kind of note that he put to his editors. But I'm thinking it's the former here.
Question about that then. How to put this? Because it seems like coloring is a particular thing. Like it either costs an enormous amount of money or an enormous amount of effort or whatever it may be. But like, I know that I guess manhwas, or a lot of the manhwas that I've read, they're all colored initially. So how peculiar is it to have colored pages in like the actual reading manga? Not like a color spread at the beginning like One Piece does sometimes, or at the end, but like in an actual like manga in a magazine. How rare is it to get color, if you guys know?
I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
Oh no, it's okay. I think it's quite rare. So it's like a rare thing, mostly because the difference between it is mostly the time for it more than anything, because it's just coloring in all the details and coloring everything like that. Whereas like in comparison to a manhwa, they're mostly webcomic, I believe, so they're like a lot of digital artists, so they can just draw straight with the color. In comparison to someone like a manga writer who's got to take the time to ink it out as well, get all the colors blended in right, which is a bit different between graphic design, like digital drawing, and then hand drawing as well.
I could be wrong about this, and I think Matt could probably answer this, but is JoJo in color?
There is a digital colored version.
I believe yes. I think it is originally in black and white, but because of the kind of series JoJo is, like there's a lot of it, almost all of it now is pretty much in color as well. But I don't know if it's published, but I wouldn't be surprised with JoJo if it's just published in color.
Gotcha.
That's
And also, I think chapter 21 of One Punch Man has a colored version to it, like an official colored one. That's the Meteor chapter.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
See, that's what I don't get. Like, if you get some of these manga apps that have like the archives, or they source you to the archives, they have like for example One Piece. They have several variants of One Piece that are all colored. Now, is that because the people who own One Piece took the initiative to get that officially done, or are all those like unofficial projects of like other people?
They're all unofficial, really. Like, you'll see it because they'll officially like release it. So like with Dragon Ball, for example, they've gone back and they've digitally colored that, and they sell official books of like Dragon Ball just in its entirety, but in color instead. But there's nothing like that of One Piece yet. There would be eventually, I bet you, but not for a bit. So it's all fans more than anything, dedicated to coloring it all in.
I think they've done the same thing with Naruto, like what you were talking about with Dragon Ball.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's right. They're doing it with a few more series at the moment.
Damn, bro. Because this is like, it caught my eye too when I saw that. I was like, but I'm more running with the theory or the perspective that it's on purpose, and that it's showing the capacity of the bullets, because it's obvious the change in intensity of his firepower occurred when he loaded those clips. So I don't think that's just correlation. I think it's causation.
I mean, yeah, definitely. You saw what he did to his arms when he just fired it.
Fucking like. Ooh.
Honestly, the last time that we have seen arms like that, from what I remember, is when Heavy Tank Loincloth, that A-class dude back in chapter 40 or 41, when he tries to punch Garrow, and Garrow like avoids it, he punches the ground, and his arm is almost identical to like Zombie Man's arm in this chapter. It's great.
Oh shit.
I mean, I guess it's just Murata's stylistic choice of portraying like a morbidly disfigured, broken arm, but still pretty cool.
He does it well.
That he does.
So, I don't mean to be sporadic continuously, but he seems like this hero doesn't have super strong explosions. He doesn't have really big whatever. He's not all flashy like that, but he has exceptional fighting capability, and his original firepower or his principal firepower can be escalated. And even in the normal version, the guns, his handguns, do seem like they're escalated bullets. Like when he was firing them normally, like they were busting through monsters like nothing, like something that you wouldn't really expect. And they also had that circular white crispy thing in the center of it that amplified in size. If you I don't know if Grimm's being lazy right now, but if I'm being lazy right now, I don't have it on the screen, but if I have it on the screen, you'll see it, like the little marks inside of the gunshots. I don't think we would see that from normal bullets, and we didn't see that from Death Gatling, I believe it is, from his bullets, or like the shine that comes from the machine gun that he was letting off. That didn't happen, and he had an escalated form of his machine gun as well that he could go into. We still didn't get that presentation, so this is telling me that these are for sure special bullets. Am I wrong to see it like that?
No, not at all. I mean, these things are chewing apart what we can assume to be tiger level monsters. Like the fodder that he takes care of in the beginning, especially like that squid looking one. Like that guy's definitely a tiger. But I mean, come on, like if bullets could easily take down tiger monsters in the world of One Punch Man, they wouldn't be seen as such a significant threat as what they are. So, and also this is Zombie Man. Like we can assume that he definitely has an upgraded arsenal, which he probably got from the Hero Association, because if Metal Bat was able to request a quote unquote unbreakable bat, I think Zombie Man definitely requested an upgraded arsenal. Also, the guns themselves, what we can assume are this world's version of Desert Eagles, they seem much bigger than what a standard Desert Eagle is. And I know that they're particularly big for a handgun. Yeah, but these things are like pretty damn big. Yeah. And so they're definitely upgraded in some way.
Well, they have to survive such explosive ammunition.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, these are upgraded definitely. Because like if a regular gun could take down tigers, then every damn C-class hero would be strapped.
Yeah, shit. I could think
the police would be strapped. Yeah. Well, since we're looking at it like that, Zombie Man also has a dual blade, or he can use dual blades that he pulls up from his back. He also has a signature axe that he can use, and as we already saw or spoke about, he can upgrade his firepower. So, what do you guys think about Zombie Man's offensive capabilities in terms of like the S rank heroes?
They're above human capability, let's say, because the average person might have, but not all of these skills. Like you're going to favor one weapon over another. He at least has options, and can change up depending on the situation. So yeah, he's a cut above at least regular specialist, let's say.
In terms of S-class, he's one of the lower ones, definitely. But at the end of the day, he's still S-class. Like, obviously, at the end, he still bent that steel bar. Like, it was, like, not like it was nothing, but still really easily he bent it. And it's just, I suppose, in terms of physical capabilities, obviously not up there with people like Puri Prisoner or Flashy Flash, for example. But at the very least, like it's what makes him the S-class is he keeps going and he basically can't be stopped until he gets out and does what he wants to do. And then of course it's the variety of his arsenal more than anything that gives him that advantage as well.
I think in terms of like combat, he's like Keisha said, he's above like average human. He's got skills. He's a marksman. I don't think he's going to be like an expert swordsman or anything like that, but if he were to just fight any, regular person with a sword, he would definitely win. But I don't think he's that strong. I think the thing is, it's just his ability to regenerate is his strongest asset, and the other things are just bonuses on top of that. I do think he is one of the weakest S-class heroes, just physically, because we have like some physical specimens like Darkshine in the rank. So yeah,
I really liked how one of the details I noticed was he used a lot of his weaponry with both of his hands, so he doesn't seem to show a preference for being right-handed or left-handed, which is a big advantage to him and like how he fights and his fighting style.
You trying to
Man,
claim he's ambidextrous, bro?
Huh?
Are you trying to claim that he's ambidextrous?
Well, I mean, like, he doesn't have to be completely ambidextrous. He just didn't show a preference. I mean, like, I think he usually holds his gun right-handed.
Bro, that's way too bold of a claim, bro. You can't be just saying that he's ambidextrous out here. What the hell?
He's proficient at minimum.
I'm just saying, like, that's, like, you're right 100%, but, like, for example, he grasps his axe with his right hand. Like, what if that's a preference, too?
Yeah, it could be, but, like, just the fact that he pulls out twin blades and then seems to be equally capable of slicing apart with both of his hands suggests maybe he's quite able with both arms, to say the least. But in comparison to the other S-Class heroes, I think he'd get his ass whooped by quite a few of them. That's my take on his comparison to the S-Class heroes.
I think, like you guys pointed out, he's versatile as fuck. From going from the axe to the blades to the guns, he can fight at a bunch of different distances. And as you pointed out, he's not like favoring or biased on one side, so it's pretty badass. I think it was Kishin who mentioned this before the stream, but or somebody mentioned it before the stream, but that he's starting to fight like or he's shown to fight like Bond from the Seven Deadly Sins. Individual who like
I didn't mention that at all. I don't know you.
Well, for those of you who don't read it, that character is immortal, and with his fighting style, he often allows himself to be hurt fatally in gruesome ways that are depicted in like in the manga for gruesome reasons, and he uses that to his advantage. So he'll have his head cut off, and then he'll like cut you in the stomach or something like that, or like after you cut his arm off, he'll grab your arm. Strategic situations like that he pulls out in his fights along with his other skill. So it was interesting to see Zombie Man have a tactic similar to that. Not where he's necessarily, leaving himself open to attack, to counterattack, or to take that for advantage, but to where he doesn't become traumatized by fatal injuries. Hence, like whenever he got his head twisted and he was still blasting at that nigga. Took his ass out, bro. 2 brothers out there.
How likely is it that, how he has the, I guess they would be like his gun sleeves, so to speak? That like pull the guns out and then they're in his hands immediately? When the octopus thing attacked him, it looks like it should have very easily damaged that equipment.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I think you just have to take it with a pinch of salt and kind of suspend belief for a couple seconds.
It literally hits it. Yeah, that's what he's saying, yeah.
Yeah, plus, the only thing I could say to defend it is, like, this is, like, technology made by the Hero Association, made for, like, the S-Class heroes, the top things, and if it was destroyed by, like, a Tiger-level threat, that kind of says something about the people who make it more than anything.
Fair enough.
I think that's a good justification for it.
Damn, bro, that's harsh though. So like, if it broke, it's because you let it. God damn, that's. I don't know, man. What if some fucking Tiger class ass nigga is just powerful as fuck, but he can't do a lot of damage to a big area? It's like
Tigers, they are powerful. I was just justifying tigers. They are powerful.
Hell yeah, I agree. We've seen the variance amongst the disaster levels in terms of strength. All kinds of niggas can be powerful as fuck or not.
I mean, Kombu Infinity wrecked Spring Mustachio and the Golden Ball, and they're A-class heroes.
Was he a tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, right? Make you second guess him.
Yeah. He was fast.
I just assumed he was demon.
What
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Tigers are no joke.
Didn't he have a feat for speed with his tentacle or with his fucking what's that called? Not lettuce.
Seaweed.
Seaweed, yeah. Seaweed.
Or actually konbu, as the Japanese people say.
Yeah. I think
My boy said lettuce.
Right?
He had speed, strength, durability. He's granted, he's probably one of the stronger tigers that we have seen, but nonetheless, tigers are pretty formidable. I forget the exact scaling that we get from them in the numbers chapter. I think it might be like 5 or 10 B class heroes or something like that. I could be wrong.
So I guess we should take it as this like tentacled monster may have been a tiger or a demon, but his offensive ability wasn't enough to bust through these shits as a map.
I think it's safe to say he was a tiger because Zombie Man takes care of him way too easily for him to be a demon. Unless he was like super low on the demon scale.
He left his eyeball out too, bro.
Yeah, his gooey ass eyeball.
Oh shit. All right. So another one of the feats that I've heard mentioned several times, and I want to see what you guys' perspective is. The wall. I guess we want to call it that. He
Oh yeah, the hide behind, and then all the cool
Build
shit
that
happens.
wall. Build that wall.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Wrong podcast. This isn't my alt-right podcast.
Oh, all right.
You're gonna piss Satsuki off with that build that wall talk.
Why power?
Wait, I thought Satsuki was a Trump supporter.
Nani?
What?
All right, so anyway, Zombie Man behind the wall.
So what did you guys think when you guys saw that? Did it hype you up?
I always love that stuff.
Huh?
I love that stuff.
Beautiful.
Bro, elaborate, dog.
This honestly has great meme potential because it's like the 3 panels. You know, we see them both on one side, then the middle is just carnage, and then the other, he's coming out on the other side.
Yeah, there's meme potential. I didn't even think about that.
Hop in the Discord, guys. If you guys meme that and put it in the Discord, it'll be on the next One Punch Man podcast announcement. We got y'all.
There you go. That's good incentive.
Drop it in there. We got you guys. Anybody else? Matt?
No, I think more than anything, I love the framing of it. Like, it's something a bit visually different, I think, more than anything. Just, like, this whole idea that, like, I'm trying to just think how to compare it. It's strange to compare it to them, but kind of like it's the animated chapters that they used to do. Just, like, these, like, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know, it's just cool.
Kind of like flip book kind of animation kind of thing, or I don't know.
No, I
don't know.
genuinely don't know.
It just looks fluid. If it looks like, because like I'm really appreciating right now the background, like to have those pillars look like that, and then they actually look like they're in the background, and then the wall, but the wall itself looks good as fuck, bro. Like I don't mean to talk about stupid ass details, but that wall looks good as fuck. Like.
No, dude, it's not stupid. Like, you're justified. This is pretty damn good detail. I mean, if you're looking at, like, you know, the standard weekly Jump shonens that we get, yeah, of course, they have great artwork in them and whatnot, but considering that we're holding it to that standard, which, you know, it's debatable whether we should or not, regardless, comparing it to that, this is pretty damn good. This is, like, Mura level stuff, just this wall alone. Mura, the Berserk artist.
You mean Inoue?
I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about. I'm not saying he's below or anything. I'm just saying this wall just looks like something out of Berserk. Honestly, the architecture.
Fucking busting lead on this wall, bro. You gotta wipe it
Oh
out.
Lord.
You already know. That's just. Oh my gosh. All right. So one thing that I did like about this chapter was the monsters. In this chapter, or when I was after reading the chapter, I wanted to get more information about pureblood because I like vampires, and it's cool to see how Murata's gonna use them or was gonna use them. I'm not sure if it's gonna be elaborated upon, like the ninjas had been favorably elaborated upon by bringing back Gale and Hell. But when I went back to read about pureblood, he was talking about the varieties of monsters, the uniqueness that he has as an original monster, and I ended up looking up about mysterious beings and different types of beings that exist as monsters. So it was interesting to see all these different types, and I'm not sure how to identify them all. I think that they're just all regular. That's what I'm here to talk about. Let's discuss these monsters, all the different ones that we've seen, and your opinions about them.
let
favorite
me just,
was the
well,
Yeti
before we get
effect.
into that, let me just establish Pure Blood being a natural born monster and the other monsters not necessarily being that. This is elaborated on by Dr. Genus when he is talking about monsters and whatnot with Zombie Man. So, kind of apropos to this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But he himself says that there are some monsters that are just straight up born monsters, or, insert mysterious being in this sentence if that makes you feel more comfortable. But regardless, he's talking about specifically the sea folk, like Deep Sea King, in the context of that conversation. But we're also seeing how much further it can go in this world, as literally vampires, they just straight up exist in this world. So they apparently are a race of beings, and Pure Blood is one of them. So, of course, he sees himself above these other monsters, which I guess we can assume are the result of monster cells, maybe. Or maybe some of them just became monsters, the standard way, transforming into them through the inherent ability that the race of people in this world have. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. But please go ahead, Kishin.
Okay. So we can confirm that these look like monster cell or original born monster.
Yeah, I think that's fair to assume. I wouldn't say that they were born monsters, or else they'd probably be, really powerful. Or more powerful. I think that is a defining trait of monsters who were born that way. Like, they're just way more powerful than, like, the monsters who became monsters later on in life.
Okay, so we have, like, the variants of, like, the species of the sea folk, the sky folk, and the vampires, as we mentioned. We have we have individuals who can form into monsters, as the conditions that we always see out in the natural world, like the tarantula guy or Phoenix Man himself. Then we have natural born monsters. Are natural born monsters different than species, right? Those are just like, they can be born, they can look like anything, but a species born monster is like a particular sect of a monster. Like, it's gonna be a sky folk, and that's it. Well,
now that you mention that, I guess the subterraneans are also born monsters as well, since I guess you can group them in with the sea folk and the sky people too. So
yeah, okay, bet. All right, because that's okay. That puts into perspective, because I got the whole occult feeling when Zombie Man showed up, and I really love that too. I don't mean to, like, once again point something out that's not in One Punch, but I was watching one of the DC movies, Constantine, and spectacular movies DC always usually has animated, but this one in particular is very, very, very good. So I've been in that field, and to see my boy out here, even with the code and shit, taking care of these fucking atrocious, mysterious ass, dirty motherfucking beings, like, that's like, I'm fucking with this nigga zombie right now. Like, this is that nigga zombie and shit. So the development of these monsters is gonna be super, super interesting. But is that gonna be the mode? Like, are these mutated monsters or like monster cell guys just gonna be inferior?
I wouldn't say they're necessarily inferior, but I would say the fodders, if you're like comparing like transformed or monster cells fodders compared to born fodder, I would say the born fodder is probably superior.
Yeah, they've had their abilities their whole existence, so they know their full potential.
Yeah, pretty much.
Better access. Where these people that just turned into a monster last week, it's like, I don't even know what the hell I can do. I can just punch shit real good. It's like, I might be able to...
They're kind of like the villains in My Hero, who like have the quirks, but they like don't know what the hell they're doing with them.
Well,
yeah, fair enough.
Well, here's something that just came in my mind. They told us when we spoke about the conditions of actually receiving a monster cell that it has to be voluntary, that you have to be strong of will yourself, and the stronger and more intelligent you are, in particular, that those increase the capabilities of transformation. So,
oh yeah, let me. I'm sorry to cut you off, but let me just fix what I said before. I know that I said that I thought that the monster cells, you needed to eat them voluntarily, but I did reread that chapter, and he doesn't say anything like that. So that was kind of me just messing up there. I think like you just straight up eat monster cells.
No. What? No, bro. I read that too. 100%. He threw it at their feet, and he was like, he didn't say it directly. He implied that it had to be you that ate it or something like that.
That's what I mean. He never says that you have to voluntarily eat these monster cells for it to work. He never says that. And the way that I said it on the last podcast, I put it forth as like that is straight up canon. Like you need to voluntarily eat the monster cells for it to work. Similar to like how you need to eat the DNA of like an all for one eat or a one for all in order to inherit that quirk. And I don't think it's necessarily that way. But like you said, it could be implied that eating the monster cells has to be voluntary for it to work.
Yeah, I don't know if I can let you correct yourself there, bro. I think you're right in the first place.
No, because it doesn't make sense. I mean, like, for them to say you have to voluntarily eat it. I mean, like, if you shoved it down their throat and they were strong enough to counter the effects, they should still turn into a monster anyway, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's actually what I was going to point out. That's the underlying part. Don't all people who take monster cells, like, isn't their level of fodder elevated because there are requirements to actually transform? So like a natural born monster and natural born fodder, there aren't necessarily requirements, as we see like these super doo-doo wolf tiger mailbox level ass niggas. Like, we haven't really seen monster cell niggas that are like that, have we? You have to be of a certain level, minimum level, in order to have the monster cell activate in the first place. While others, that's not the case. So shouldn't monster cell transformation be superior in some extent?
It seems like it. The people who took the ceiling that we have for the people who are pure-blooded monsters, straight up species of monsters, is demon. I mean, I may be wrong about that, but that's what it seems like. But for the people who have had monster cells, we've seen plenty of people that were are monsters that were dragon level threats, and they used the monster cells. So it seems like their ceiling is higher than pure-blooded monsters.
Do we know anything about whether the executives are pure-blooded monsters, any of them? Or are they all just like previous humans who turned into monsters?
I'm pretty sure we don't know anything yet.
So far in the manga, the only monster who we can assume is 100% born that way out of the executives was Elder Centipede. Because he was with the Subterranean, so we can assume that he is just born that way. Overgrown Rover, maybe, not necessarily sure on him. But outside of that, we don't get any confirmation on them. Orochi definitely was a human at first, so we know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think...
with Orochi, he didn't consume a monster cell, though, did he?
No, his transformation came from Zenkai boosts.
Yeah, it was that constant, like, negative emotion boost more than anything.
Yeah, and constant near-death situations, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, Zenkai. I'm taking that from Dragon Ball. That's what they call their boost when you come back from death.
The Saiyan power-up.
Yeah, Zenkai.
Right, I just realized I repeated exactly what you just said.
In the chapter, Pureblood actually mentions that, and I'm reading right now, says, or the I'm Good translation says, in the Monster Association, I am the one and only true monster. And I don't think it makes any specification or reference to the Cadres. So, is he the only because of that, or like is he just talking bullshit?
He might just be talking about in terms of the organization or the association he's now a part of.
I mean, when he says that as well, I know obviously Elder Centipede, we don't know enough about him, but didn't he already die at that point when he says that too?
No. He says that in chapter 80, right?
Yeah.
When Pureblood first makes that statement.
No, this is in this chapter.
Or chapter 79.
Oh, on about in this chapter as well.
No, I mean Pureblood. This is like his rhetoric.
Yeah,
this is like his thing.
Yeah, he said it before. Whenever he had a different outfit on too. I don't remember what chapter, but it was during the assault. I believe towards.
It was either 79 or 80.
Okay.
Well, it could just be like a pure blood vampire thing. You mean you see this kind of thing in like the Underworld series as well, where all the vampires who are pure blooded kind of think they're above every other monster, no matter what type of blood type they are.
No, that's a good point.
This guy is kind of like cocky as fuck, bro. Like, you seen that that almost fourth wall break that he did? You know what I'm talking about? Like, hold on, let me find it right here. It's he shoots. I think he flicks it back at Zombie the bullets, and then he like turns back towards the monsters, but you don't see that he's. Hold on, I'm just supposed to find a picture. Fuck it.
Yeah, he pulled a Raditz on him. Because that's exactly what Raditz did when he met the farmer. The farmer shot at him. He caught the bullet and he's like, "What's this?" And just flicked it back and killed the farmer.
Yeah. You talking about when Pureblood turns around, he's like, "No applause?"
Yeah,
And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah, that was awesome. But also, Kishin, watch your mouth because it is not confirmed that Farmer with Shotgun is dead.
Well, we don't see him again, and it's been over 20 years. I think he's dead.
He's training off
Read
screen.
all the Kanzenshus, all right? There's about 14 of them. Read every single one, then come back to it.
Hey, look, man, he just turned into his marijuana patch.
Well, what you don't see about the farmer with the shotgun is afterwards he started training, became martial arts champion Hercule, and then
Oh, he
Make a
lost
video.
all that baby weight and grew 3 feet.
That smells like a 1 million view video to me.
push-ups into plenty of juice.
So, another point that I wanted to talk about is the cooperation of the monsters. As we know, the Monster Association is defined by just that. Cooperation amongst monsters to this extent is extremely unusual, and we're seeing its full potential of what happens once they come together. So, were you guys upset, or did you guys expect something more or different from this group of monsters with True Blood, or was this pretty much it? Like, how did you guys respond to the peculiarity of them turning on Pure Blood like this, setting him up and being so cordial with this fight as well? What did you guys? How did you guys take that?
That's a monster's nature, so it didn't really surprise me. I mean, it was kind of funny to me because they're like, either way, whoever wins, we're going to jump your ass either way. So,
Win-win.
hey,
Yeah, I mean, it didn't surprise me either. I mean, like, seeing what Pureblood's rhetoric has kind of been this whole thing, like how he's above everyone else. They're about it sooner or later, so, you know, the fact that they wanted to jump him or they wanted Zombie Man to kill him, yeah, I'm done with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like what Satsuki said, it's a monster's nature. Like, Pureblood doesn't hesitate to kill one of them to heal himself, so it makes sense that none of them are afraid to kill him afterwards.
It was a clash of his aristocratic nature, stereotypical vampire behavior, and just the average monster's own avarice.
Also, this dynamic is kind of set up back in chapter 79 or 80, whatever chapter when we first fully get the true introduction to Full Blood. Not his first appearance, just introduction. Like, we see him sucking on some fodder, and then one of the monsters is like, bro, can you please not do that? So we kind of get, right off the bat, we know that he doesn't like them and they don't like him. But we also know that, fucking Pureblood is only in the Monster Association to take down the S-Class heroes. Because it's kind of gets muddled, really, because of the way that he is in this chapter. You're thinking, like, why the hell is he even with them in the first place if he's such an asshole about everything? But he's only there just to get rid of the S-Class heroes.
Which is weird, and which is why I want to bring up the next point. This is also one of the poll questions, so we'll get to hear you guys' opinion too about it, viewers. But Zombie Man died 200 times. Are we just going to ignore that fact because he won once at the end and that was all that was needed? Or is Pure Blood stronger than Zombie Man?
nah, fam, we ain't ignoring that. No excuses. That's why I said he was physically weaker, one of the weakest in the S class, because without that regeneration, he would have been fucked quickly in this fight. I don't know, because like when we say stronger, what exactly do you mean? Because just the physical capabilities, yeah, because Pure Blood was able to catch his bullet and then flick it at him, and it had almost the same impact on Zombie Man as Zombie Man shooting the bullets at Pure Blood. So physically, yes, he's stronger than him.
Yeah, and he grabbed a monster that looked like pretty hefty, just picks him up and rips him in half right there, no problem whatsoever. So Pure Blood definitely physically stronger. I mean, Zombie Man's literally just a human guy, with supernatural healing.
Yeah, I mean, we're shown a couple of times throughout the chapter when, Pure Blood completely outpaces Zombie Man right at the beginning when he tries to cheap shot him, and he bites out like his carotid from his neck or something like that, and then he breaks his neck with a kick to the head, and he outpaces him again when he pulls out the two twin blades. All the way throughout, he was just showing how much more superior he was to Zombie Man physically, but at the end of the day, those 200 victories didn't really matter because of his regenerative capacity.
Matt, Zhoniin?
Yeah, nothing else to add really. I was quickly just kind of like Google the maths for how often he dies. So it's something like Zombie Man like died like every 6 seconds or something in that fight.
Oh, Lord.
It's something like that. That's a quick Google.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about doing the math either, bro. He didn't give us numbers. What?
Yeah.
200 times in 30 minutes.
So that kind of, but at the end of the day, like you can be stronger, you can be faster, but if you like, it's this regeneration that's really OP more than anything. Like nothing else really to add because everyone else just said it. But all it takes is one death, and that's it for most people.
Zhoniin, got anything to add?
Well, this really just comes down to you or Grimm, your own personal definition of what being strong is. Because, I guess he is stronger, but is he more capable? No. He lost. I mean, he got definitively beaten.
Because maybe it may be my bias, because like I said, I like the whole vampire theme, but like I said about the ninjas, I want them to have more storyline. This guy's hyping up about his race and shit. Let's hear more about your race. Let's hear more about that shit. He said that he was of a family. There's probably multiple families. He may not even be the strongest vampire. And to see him outclass an S-class like this, who, regardless of how many other people we've seen, Zombie Man is indeed a capable fighter. He proved that here. He proved that. 3 different weapon types, all effective, against a superior fighter, a very, very quick and strong fighter, as you guys all pointed out with examples. So it's like, and he also has the ability to regenerate. So it may have been that I'm still in the Phoenix Man hype up, where we're going to boost up some lower hero to that dragon level, but I thought this guy was really going to pull out some dragon shit. So, is he still a demon?
Yes. Demon. Wait, we're talking about pure blood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's demon. Which at first the very first time I seen him, I thought he was a dragon, but nah, he's demon, man. High level demon.
That first appearance, he was looking in badass, bro.
Yeah.
Suited.
I'm starting to think that Pure Blood might actually be the last of the vampires. Because why else would he join up with them? Wouldn't he just stay with the vampires?
True, yeah. There's nothing has referenced that, has it?
No, it's just an idea. Because, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's like, because, if given, like, maybe he's the last of his lineage and his family, and, like, they taught him this way of thinking, and then he's the last one, and he's like, crap, to survive, I guess I have to work with the impures and all that kind of stuff. And then he teams up with them, and he has that mindset, and it leads to his downfall.
All right.
I mean, we've never heard of any other vampires, have we?
No.
So
Or even a hint of them. Yeah, that could really be the case.
maybe natural monsters are a dying breed.
And maybe to answer your question, Grim, about why Pureblood wasn't in it as much, like why he didn't have a bigger role than you thought he might. It might, if I had to guess, it might be to do with the Phoenix Man fight as well, because obviously that went on a lot longer than anyone thought it would. So I don't know, obviously, if there was any backlash about that at all. But if there was something there that made Murata and One go, okay, we need to just kind of pick the pace up and make sure like people see what we can do, short and sweet. That might be why Pureblood just kind of got wrapped up as a smaller villain.
I don't. Yeah, that sounds like if there were to be something that we don't know about, it would most likely be that.
Let me also just address the whole thing about why Phoenix Man and Child Emperor and Flashy Flash, why they got multiple chapters and why Zombie Man's only getting one. Let me just say that there is a reason for it. It's not just like weird favoritism or whatever else. I can't fully explain why, because of course it goes into webcomic stuff, but let me just say that there is a reason for it. It's not just random.
Alright, bet. Alright.
Yeah, true. Plus, like, Child Emperor has pretty much used everything he can do now, so I don't really expect any fights of him. But this kind of it serves like a good introductory chapter to Zombie Man. So it's definitely possible that he's going to get more bigger fights in the future.
Multiple component shit. I mean, just in general, to look at it from a story telling standpoint, there is a type of character that you could exploit a lot of different powers with. The immortality thing, you can have everything happen to him. You can show off all kinds of different villains and potentials and still keep that character because of how he works. So that does make sense that he may have more parts than other heroes. It's just, oh, pure blood, no.
You had high hopes for him, didn't you?
Bro, my boy was supposed to body zombie, bro. My boy was really
One
supposed
chapter,
to body.
shawty, that's all you get. One chapter, that's fine with me.
His hubris, like I said, it did him in.
Yeah, honestly, but we also have to remember that he's just a demon in the Monster Association, so he's like a vice admiral almost, or whatever is below a Yonko commander. Like if we're looking at like Orochi being a Yonko and the executives being Yonko commanders, whatever is under a Yonko commander is what Phoenix Man and Pureblood are. So they're not really going to get that much screen time. Like we still have to have all these chapters devoted to the executives after all.
So you're saying
which we haven't even
equivalent
been introduced to yet fully. We've only seen some of the executives. We have literally only seen 2 panels of them.
Yeah.
What were we saying, Sundown?
I was gonna say you're calling him the equivalent of Pooh Scratch Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I guess that's fair.
As we know, Zombie Man's main factors of fighters is healing or immortality capability. Is there a reasonable explanation as to how to kill Zombie Man, or has the House of Evolution produced a wonder?
Kick him in the nuts.
Tickle him to death.
He'll eat that. He'll eat the tickle robot, and he'll eat a nut.
I read on the wiki that it's essentially just turn him into mincemeat.
Ah, yes, that was. However, it has been removed from the wiki.
Okay.
And that is because I guess that might have been misinformation. Now, I thought that One himself had said that in an interview, but now I can't find the source of that. And I don't think that's coming from the data book either, because I don't think the data book outright says crazy stuff like that. So, I'm not too sure about the validity of the mincemeat thing. I want to believe that's true because, if not, then this just means Zombie Man might literally be immortal. But I thought coming into this, if you destroy his head, that was going to do him in. But apparently that is not the case. So as of right now, I'm going to assume that, he is susceptible to being vaporized, I guess.
I did find the source. It was an interview with Nico, whatever the hell.
Nico is the event that he was at.
Oh.
All right, so yeah, one did say it. So I guess that holds water, and it does make sense because, come on, man. If he can survive being turned to mincemeat, then he's a little too powerful. He's like Boo level.
You reckon they took it down from the wiki because I think right before...
It's still on the wiki.
Is it still on the wiki?
Yeah,
it wasn't on there when I checked it before, so maybe somebody took it down and put it back up because that does happen all the time on there.
And at least
considering that anyone can edit it.
Yeah, I thought it would have been okay for them to take it down because I think Pureblood says something about turning him to mincemeat when he assumes his bat form. When he releases like those hundreds of bats.
Yeah. Slices him up.
And we didn't see what he actually did to Zombie Man. Apart from when Zombie Man's he's covered in blood, but he's healing and that bat is stuck in his shoulder. But I assume he was made into mincemeat and he just healed from it.
He does wreck him.
Jeez, bro.
Speaking of that bat in his shoulder, I have just a crackpot theory as I do, What if that leads to vampiric Zombie Man? Hey, it'd be an awesome power-up.
Go on.
Like, instead of, him wearing a coat, it's actually bat wings that are just folded over him now.
Oh, shit. You got a whole design in mind, too, huh?
Dude, make that what-if video.
That's about all I have. But
actually, there you go. Perfect video for you. Future Zombie Man power-ups.
Oh, I can do that. I already have My Hero and One Piece stuff. So.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, but yeah, people, you hear it first.
Well, since we're talking about future Zombie Man power-ups, in Matt's review video, check that out. Go subscribe to that shit. Pop it right now. Link in the description. That shit. He spoke about the potential of Zombie Man, and especially his weapons, and especially what we saw. So could you lead or elaborate on your thoughts, Matt?
Yeah, sure. So what I said is obviously one of the big things he did was obviously he changed the ammo for it in his gun, and he launched a bigger blast, bigger bullets. And the main thing was obviously we saw the recoil for it, but yet, and a couple panels later, his arms are pretty much okay. And obviously, so is it possible that Zombie Man's fighting style, especially if he goes up against higher opponents, is he can use weapons that are, it's maybe in the future, maybe now, he can use weapons that are too deadly for normal people to use, but because he's Zombie Man and he can regenerate, he can use those kind of things. So maybe bombs or poisons, but because obviously he hits a zombie, it won't affect him. That kind of stuff's okay for him to use.
What about because now we have this piece of information about slicing up, turning into mincemeat, and I'm not like I said, that hasn't been shown in the manga, but it's in the wiki, and one said in an interview. So I guess we could take it for concrete fact. Bombs, suicide bombing, what type of escalations are we thinking about? Bazookas on his arms and shit? What's up?
The most extreme example I had was in my comments. Someone said about a mini nuke inside of him.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, it'd be cool. I'm not going to lie.
See, with nukes, that's a different story because that goes down to the atomic level. So you'd assume very little of him would be remaining if it did go off. And I don't think actually any of him would be remaining. So maybe a way to kill him there.
I guess that would be it, yeah. I mean, maybe having his bones as weapons. Kimimaru comes to mind from Naruto. Weaponizing like that. Maybe making himself integrations, maybe robotic integrations, maybe. Because he's technically immortal. So why not put some adamantium or some shit like that inside his bones?
I was about to say Wolverine his ass.
You already fucking know, bro. You already fucking know. Do some shit like that. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I mean, could you even like do like an advanced version of poison? He's obviously got his little knife, which has got a deadly poison. Is there like elves? We don't. Could there be like more deadly poisons out there that normal people can't do, but like Zombie Man could dip his swords into, and then he could like just kind of evaporate foes from there.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like that would be a double-edged sword for him, though.
Yeah.
Because if he gets hit with them, it'll just keep, eradicating his cells, and then to the point where maybe he doesn't even. It's just like a constant battle. It's like, shit, I forgot an antidote. And then he's just, until he can get an antidote, or if it progresses to a certain point where he's just dead.
Well, you assume his cells would just continue to die until the poison actually dwindle down to nothing. So it wouldn't last forever.
Yeah, it wouldn't be eternal. It's limited.
Plus, would his cells adapt to it so he eventually gets like an immunity to the poison if he's constantly fighting it?
This nigga.
I mean, like that's more about repeated doses and not actual like one-time stimulation. But that's a topic for another time.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, I mean,
We'll
if
leave that
Luffy
there.
could do it, he could do it.
Luffy is a rubber boy.
And Zombie Man's a dead boy.
Yeah, that would be like that's like damn, bro. So Matt out here trying to soup Zombie Man up for real. Fuck.
And Luffy's kind of he's powered by like Oda's imagination, and like he can regrow teeth by drinking milk. So that's probably not the best example.
Nah, that's just One Piece world milk, man. Anybody can do that.
Yeah,
I understood for Brook, but not for Luffy.
a whole new tooth.
It's the devil fruit.
The devil loves his milk.
Nani?
As you mentioned too, Zombie Man also has the ability to use dual blades. What did you guys think when you saw this? And comparable to anybody? Is he gonna like chop up Flashy or Atomic?
Well,
or
nigga, what?
What the hell are you saying?
Hey, nah. I'm not even entertaining this clickbait argument. You just want to talk about Flashy Flash, bruh, or Atomic Samurai. That's it.
I said
Be
Child
real.
Emperor too, bro. I said Child Emperor too.
Oh, I didn't hear
Child
that.
Emperor is even less proficient. If it wasn't for the fact that he has a giant robot with a giant blade, it doesn't really. It's not as comparable, let's say.
Well, he has his flute.
Zombie Man's more like a jack of all trades. Like, he's good at a lot of things, but he's not proficient at any one thing.
Yeah. See, what I was thinking was, I think one of you guys might have alluded to this to begin with, but do you reckon Child Emperor has designed some elements of Zombie Man's weaponry?
I think that's fair to assume.
Why not Metal Knight?
Because Metal Knight's a selfish prick.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Metal Knight's a bit of a twat knight.
It's like, hey, I'm like former salaryman over here. I can't afford that shit. And it's like, but kid over here, he gives it to me basically for free. I just have to ask and give him an idea.
Yeah, and like I was thinking more along the lines of his spring-loaded Desert Eagles, and that seems something that's more along the lines of Child Emperor than Metal Knight.
Also, it's implied that S-Class heroes are rich. Like, they get paid.
Yeah. Oh, like that though?
I assume that, come on, they're S-Class heroes. They're defending humanity. They're probably making six figures.
I mean, you saw where
I
King
forget.
lived.
Yeah, there you go.
That shit didn't.
I mean, if football players make seven figures and even kickers can make six figures, like, come on, give the S-Class heroes some damn money.
Do the refs make money?
I mean, by the way that fucking all this shit works, they are definitely being funded with several trillions, like not billions, several trillions, bro. Like the association is very, very wide ranging with their resources. So I see what we're getting at with that, but Damn, bro. Like, shit, Zombie Man has incredible potential. I am looking forward to the rest of his development and fights. Zombie Man is that nigga. But we also have a whole coalition of niggas that watch the One Punch Man podcast, and they filled out a bunch of polls. So let's hop onto the polls right now and discuss what you guys thought.
Woo! Wait, where did that Fubuki picture come from? I don't have that in my collection.
Yeah, there's a lot of Fubuki in this.
You're lacking, my friend.
I know.
So for this week's poll questions, we asked the following. Number 1, Zombie Man versus Phoenix Man. Number 2, who is stronger? Pure Blood, Awakened Cockroach, Deep Sea King, or Pooty Pooty? Number 3, is Pure Blood dead, or can he suck up that dead ass body juice to recover? Number 4, who looks better? Zombie Man or Child Emperor? Number 5, who looks better? Pure Blood or your favorite Phoenix Man form? Number 6, which would you rather have? Zombie Man's axe or Child Emperor's lightsaber flute? Number 7, Pure Blood killed Zombie Man 200 times. Is Pure Blood stronger than Zombie Man? Number 8, Carnage Kabuto versus Zombie Man. Number 9, describe the ugliest monster you saw this chapter. And number 10, describe the strongest looking monster you saw this chapter. Alright, so then let's hop into what the poll questions were saying and the responses. So to the question, who is stronger? The winner is Phoenix Man up against Zombie Man with 53% of the votes. All right, that's about right. The next one is who is stronger? Pure Blood, being in the last place with 0 votes. Tied.
It's only because his defeat is relevant.
Tied for second place is Pooty Pooty and Awakened Cockroach with 20% of the votes. And in the lead with 60% of the votes is Deep Sea King.
Yes, sir.
Nah.
Damn. People love Deep Sea, bro. Like, for real, for real.
But would he be stronger in a desert? There's a matchup.
I guess they're specifically referring to his hydrated form. Because clearly in his dry form, he's not up there with Awakened Cockroach, in my opinion. But his hydrated form, that of course could be debated.
All right. The next question we asked is True Blood dead? And with 81.3% of the votes, the people said Zombie Man doesn't play. That nigga's dead. All right. The people have spoken. The people have been wrong before. We're going to see. To the question, who looks better? Child Emperor or Zombie Man? The winner with 63% is Zombie Man. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Those niggas don't like little kids.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Simple designs sometimes are the best designs.
To the winner of who looks better amongst Phoenix and Pure Blood, with 54% is Phoenix Man. For which would you rather have? Zombie Man's axe or Child Emperor's lightsaber? Who do you guys think won?
Flute.
The flute.
Yeah.
72% of the votes. Wow. These niggas like flutes.
It like, bro, like I
They
can't
wanna be
like me
Jedi.
myself. Why the fuck would I want to axe? I mean, I can't handle the shit.
All right, I can go to Lowe's right now and get an axe.
I was about to
I
say
can't
every
buy a
hardware
recorder
store.
lightsaber.
All right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. His axe is cool, but man, compared to a recorder lightsaber,
Exactly. Daytime, you bust out the rhymes, and then nighttime, out comes a lightsaber.
Yeah, but with the axe, you can walk around saying, "Can I ask you a question?" and then proceed.
I don't think you would get any girls. Any girls.
No, that's what you say before you murder people.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Do you have the time? If not, you're dead.
To the question, who's stronger between Zombie Man and Pure Blood? 69% of the votes. Wow. That's said that Zombie is stronger.
That's.
Why did 30? Why? Go ahead.
It's because I think there was a simulation battle or something that Zombie like win against him, and that's in the Wikipedia. I saw it somewhere.
Versus Pure Blood?
no, you're talking about Carnage Kabuto. You're jumping ahead.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It was a simulation.
He was looking at the next question.
No, but I'm saying. Okay, all right.
Oh, my bad.
You don't know about the VGS?
What's that?
The
Virtual genocide system.
Was that in the manga?
No, it's an audiobook.
It's an audiobook?
Yeah, it's canon though.
What the fuck? Alright, I'm gonna take that shit out. What is it?
It's basically that Kabuto would wear himself out, constantly having to fight the regenerating zombie man until it's like, oh, well, you're tired now. Axe upside the head.
Wow. Didn't he say he was going on a rampage for a whole week, though?
Yeah, he fights him for a week and he still wins.
Whoa.
In a simulation only, though, right?
Yes.
That's wow.
That would explain. Well, we didn't even get to that. So.
But in this same simulation, Metal Bat and Genos both lose to Carnage Kabuto, but Zombie Man wins.
Matchups are important.
Alright. Carnage Kabuto versus Zombie Man. As you predicted, 56% goes to Zombie Man.
Oh, it's actually that?
Yeah.
I think it's because of that one fact alone.
It has to be. Yup. Somebody actually mentioned in the comment section. This is out of the S-Rank comment shout out, but either way. Nacho Ball says Zombie Man beated Carnage Kabuto in the audiobook, where Carnage Kabuto killed Zombie Man over and over for 1 week, tired himself out, and then Zombie Man finished Kabuto. Coolio, man. Alright, badassery, bro. That was for today's poll questions. So let's hop into the hero comments.
I'll do it. Lugia, with 2 I's and 2 A's. Number 1, Phoenix Man. I mean, if he can burn him. Let's see. Number 2, Puri Puri by far now. Okay.
Wow.
It's just the by far now, that part. But okay. Yeah. Number 3, he got slashed into pieces, and even if he wasn't, the other monsters would have eaten him. Yeah. That would have happened. That was the alternate story. 4, Zombie Man. Alright. 5, second Phoenix Man form. Okay, so that would have been what? The Falcon form?
I don't know. I'm not
There's
sure.
so many forms now. It's hard to...
Yeah, it was the Falcon form before he went into prominence. Yeah.
Number 6, lightsaber flute. Alrighty. 7, physically he probably is, but Zombie Man relies on his godlike stamina and strength to exhaust his opponent, even if it has to take several days. I'm thinking, another person that saw the VGS. Let's see. Number 8, it already has been said by VGS implanted in Genos. Zombie Man wins in a week. Okay, well, maybe that's the one. And they have links for number 9 and 10. So that's the ugliest monster, and right? That's the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I obviously can't click on the links.
That's right, because I said describe that shit, and these niggas decided to post a link.
But he does, or she, I don't judge, him. He made me think about Orochi, but he's still trash fodder. Still would like to know who they're referring to. There was a lot of money.
I think the one in the beginning, he had like multiple faces, and when he opened his mouth, or she, because she had titties or whatever, when she opened her mouth, it was like scary. It was actually one of the scarier monsters.
So Godslayer says, number 1, I don't think Zombie Man can permanently kill Phoenix Man unless he finds out the suit's weakness. Meanwhile, I don't see Phoenix Man killing Zombie Man either. I guess I'll give it to Zombie Man. Number 2, he says, Puri Prisoner. He defeated a monster that was on the level of Deep Sea King relative ease in Chapter 94. Murata never specifically stated if the monster was dry or wet Deep Sea King level, but I'll give Puri the benefit of the doubt and say it was the monster was on wet Deep Sea King level. Number 3, Pureblood is 100% dead, is not coming back. 4, Zombie Man. 5, Phoenix Man is Brilliance form. Yeah. 6, I guess Child Emperor's lightsaber flute? It's not a guess. 7, Pureblood is physically stronger, but Zombie Man has way better generation. 8, alright, yeah, they're ready for the VGS. Yep. Same thing again. They don't say who the 9 and 10 are, so their 9 was the fat monster, and the 10 was also the fat monster.
Making people's choices for them, Matt. How dare you?
They're not going to make them. Someone's got to.
I guess.
All right. Garo Straight Savage. Number 1. I think Phoenix Man should be capable of reducing Zombie Man to mincemeat. All right. Number 2, I'd say Puri Prisoner currently, since he was able to kill a monster on the same level as Deep Sea King without going all out. Disagree, but 3, I think he's dead. 4, Zombie Man. 5, Phoenix Man, brilliance, eagle mode, in my opinion. 6, Child Emperor's lightsaber thing. 7, he likely is, but it doesn't seem to matter since Zombie Man has better regeneration. 8, Carnage Kabuto should have more than enough power to reduce Zombie Man to mincemeat. 9, the beginning where we saw the monster who had a similar design similar to Orochi was pretty creepy and ugly. 10, Pureblood was the strongest out of the fodder monsters.
From Chessman77, 1, Phoenix Man turns into ash. Okay. 2, Awakened Cockroach, then Puri, then Seeking, then Pureblood from strongest to weakest. Okay. Maybe not. 3, we don't know. He's probably dead, but that's what they were saying about Phoenix Man.
Tell him twice.
Nah. He dead.
He dead, man.
Well, he's dead because he was a undead creature to begin with.
Yeah, he's dead. Pretty dead. 4, Zombie Man. 5, Phoenix Man. 6, Lightsaber Flute. 7, yes, Zombie just has more stamina. Okay. 8, we already got this in Zombie Man 1. I assume he's aware of the VGS. I wasn't aware of that, by the way. 9, the 1 blob monster Pureblood killed. Yeah, I think that's the same with Matt. And 10, the woman that kind of looked like Orochi. Wait, which chick looked like Orochi?
Is page 3 of manga stream.
I'll put it in the chat now.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, yeah. I think I remember anyway. All right.
Hey, Grimm, you know I'm screenshotting you, right?
Screenshotting me? What do you mean? Screenshotting what?
What you wrote in a hero comment, man. Nah, I'm not letting that
I
slide.
didn't write anything in the hero comment.
Nah, see? I got it, too.
That shit is not going to the podcast.
I don't even know what's going on now.
Hold on,
Man.
hold on. He
Just
tried to
refrosted.
hide the evidence.
Yeah.
He tried to hide the evidence.
He was trying to lip Zhoniin, man. That's not right.
He's gonna hurry up and look at it. He will delete it.
Oh, that's it. Grimm's confirmed to be a homosexual now. Got him.
Oh my god. That Orochi chick looks wow. Okay, yeah, that's nightmare material. Okay.
It's scary.
Or a dream.
Hey.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't
Just,
know, we don't know if those boobs are hard or soft. That was only one way to find out.
Two heads.
Hey, you take one for the team.
Whoa, wait, Matt, you nailed it. Two heads. Possibilities. Possibilities.
We gonna tag team her.
Oh man.
Shout out to Scumridge. His name looks familiar. I think he's familiar on the subreddit. Zombie Man wins after 24 hours of fighting. PMR.
Phoenix Man reincarnated.
Oh, true. Doesn't have enough fire to incinerate his entire body. Zombie Man eventually rips the suit off. I agree. I think Zombie Man would take down Phoenix Man. Just in my opinion, of course. Awakened Cockroach has hacks dodging. Only way he'd lose to any of them is if he ran out of stamina to dodge. Yeah, that's spot on.
Damn.
Number 3, He'd dead. He'd dead. Verbatim, he says this. Took 3 monsters to regenerate just a hole in his chest. Even all the blood of 30 monsters couldn't regen his whole body. Doesn't even have a throat to swallow it. This is true. Zombie Man has a trench coat. Child does not.
Bit fat. Bit fat.
Well, now he'll make a trench coat and be like, I'm cool like Zombie Man.
That's a great comment.
I'd like to see that. Like, it looks all funny. You know, like when the kids try to sneak into things and like TV
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. They have
Oh,
those
yeah.
huge trench
2
coats.
kids in a trench coat?
Yeah. But it would just be Zombie Man like sitting on the shoulders of Underdog Man. That would be awesome. Hey, any of you artists out there, draw that.
Please.
Anyway. Phoenix Man Transformation 1. Only one that surprised everyone. Though Vampire beats all other forms. Phoenix Man Transformation 1. So I guess he's talking about the original Resurrection. I mean, he does look cool, but man, that Brilliant Eagle mode, it's up there in like some of the best forms we've seen, in my opinion. Axe does not run out of energy. That is true, but I mean, whatever. To each his own, I suppose. Of course, 200 deaths is greater than 1 death, but Zombie Man cheated. What?
What? You can't cheat?
Nani?
He cheated death. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, that was r/whoosh. All right, right over my head. Number 8, Zombie Man. What is the question for number 8?
Him versus Carnage Kabuto.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Grimm, did you specifically pick that question?
Yeah.
And you honestly did not know about the virtual genocide simulation?
That's what all this means, bro.
So why did you just randomly pick Carnage Kabuto out of all the monsters?
Because they have House of Evolution associations, and he,
Yeah, they're like-
I was wondering if that was why you chose them.
yeah, and he's a particular being, and Carnage is also a particular being with very, very high potentials in both their presentations. So I was like, okay, let's see.
Gotcha. Orochi's daughter. I think we've already established her potential. Number 10, Pure Blood. Was there another option? And what's this question?
It was supposed to be which of the fodder monsters looks the strongest, but I put which of the monsters look the strongest instead. So people have been saying Pureblood often, but it's supposed to be
gotcha.
Yeah. But I imagine people would have said Orochi's daughter for that as well. Tit Joe.
My name is Joe. I like tit.
I like tit.
Tit Joe
Sorry, Joe.
says, for number 1, Phoenix Man. Zombie Man can't kill for good, Phoenix Man. So in the best case for it, in the best case for him, it would be a fight with no winner. But I think Phoenix, with his power of fire, can kill him, or he would die enough and power. Yeah, or he would die enough and power up enough to be able to kill Zombie Man for good. All right, bet. For number 2, he says, Aqua Wind Cockroach. Over Pure Blood, over Pooty Pooty. I still believe this monster wasn't as strong as Deep Sea King and all, but if it's the case, Pooty Pooty Prisoner is as strong as these guys. And then over Deep Sea King. Alright. Cockroach is badass though. For number 3, yes. For question number 4, he says Zombie Man. A simple look, but very efficient. Alright. For number 5, it says Pure Blood. Phoenix Man is too shiny for me. What the fuck?
What?
He was getting shinier with each transfer. He literally would just become the new shiny toy with each transformation. So,
I mean, like, it is black and white. We can't really detect the shininess, you know?
No, bro. That Phoenix Brilliance, that shit was shiny as fuck, bro. The last one, where he was like, yeah, that shit was shiny, bro. That shit looked good. Number 7, he says stronger in what sense? More strength, speed, and durability? Yes, of course. But Zombie Man is clearly more powerful with his region. I agree. For number 8, he says, if Carnage Kabuto is enough stupid to pass an entire week, that's an entire week to try to kill Zombie Man will win. But the most likely outcome is Carnage Kabuto would try to kill Zombie Man during some hours. And when he would see he can't, he would just walk away.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's pretty clear that Tit Joe's English isn't his first language. Because this sounds like it sounds like we're No, I'm not shaming, of course, but it sounds like we're reading like Jean-Claude Van Damme would say to answer these questions.
For number 9, he says the mushroom, which said that Pure Blood is dead. Cool. And number 10, the kind of cat which fight Zombie Man behind a pillar. I think I know something about it.
yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah. And then let's head into the panel of the week portion.
Essentially, it is the one where he, like, his Zombie Man's, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. He bent the bar.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Could you post a picture of that too?
Of course.
Sure.
I even had it saved.
My moment was Pure Blood's epic entrance in front of Zombie Man, the smoke clearing and his coat all spread out. Amazing.
Cool. So mine is when Zombie Man's just finally had enough after regenerating so many times. He's like, get ready for a battle of attrition. And he's got the axe like super close to the panel, so it's got that perspective on it. Like, it's slightly out of focus. It looks amazing.
All right, so mine's is the one where Zombie Man is walking out after he was in a big battle with the rest of the fodder monsters. That was like one of the first times I actually liked the fact that we off-screened something, because it was just really cool to see the aftermath of him fighting.
Yeah, mine would be the entire page where we have Zombie Man kind of making his introduction, and he just throws that kind of electrical box at those 3-4 monsters. And then he pops them all in the face. And I thought that was like a really, really good intro for the type of fighter that Zombie Man was going to be. And the fact that he just says, yo.
Really. All right, how about this? The fat monster pointing and laughing. That's great. That's my pick.
There's some
You're not
really
gonna...
like gruesome looking ass monsters, bro. They really were.
Do you think that was partially because it was like a vampire zombie fight? And it was all supernatural stuff, so we went for some traditional, like, gruesome monsters.
Hell yeah, bro. That's literally exactly it. 100%, man. Hell yeah. I like it too, man.
Oh yeah, it was super good.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's about it. Is there anything else we have to cover before we head out?
I think the honorable mention has to be the war, where we get kind of the obscured vision of Zombie Man versus those 3 monsters, and then he walks out.
I was going to put that one, but I couldn't explain it earlier, so I didn't think I could do it now.
That was definitely top 3 panels of the chapter, bro. Alright, guys, that was it for chapter 101's One Punch Man podcast discussion. Everybody did content on the chapter, live reactions, reviews, discussion videos, topic videos. So check those out. All the links are in the description below. Did you guys have any content that's coming out in the next few days for you guys that you want to talk about?
I have an
Yeah.
Aoyama video that should be out within the next week.
Hell yeah.
Power up video.
Hell yeah. Alright. Satsuki?
I have a video where I'm talking about a character from Hunter x Hunter tomorrow, and maybe I'll get the Zombie Man, One Punch Man chapter
This
101 review out tomorrow.
is so funny.
Maybe.
What's up, Sundown, Matt?
Matt, you want to go?
No, you can go. You can go.
Alright, I'm releasing the latest Taizai review. Should be either tomorrow or the day after.
Hell yeah. Great ass chapter. 297. Matt?
Grimm, we have this conversation.
Well, I
know
can't leave you
why.
all that out. You can't leave all that out.
You can leave me out. You can. But it's fine. We do it. Look, you ask me, nothing happens, we all laugh at me, it's all good, and we carry on. Don't need to do
bro. This last chapter, I think you were one of the first to release a review.
Yeah, these
So,
first.
like-
Actually, Satsuki pointed it out. They fucking overlap, bro. They were fucking
No.
separated.
No, Kishin was first, then it was Matt, and then it was Zhoniin.
Oh, okay.
I think I got mine out just after Zhoniin.
Okay.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
I won.
Zhoniin?
I have a video coming out about Aoyama.
Hell
No, I'm just playing.
It's like trying to steal my thunder. you son.
No, I don't even. I mean, today. Well, who knows when this podcast? When's this podcast coming out? In 2 weeks?
Hey,
Fuck up, dog.
Just playing.
There's gonna be a
So-
lot of editing for this video, I'm sure.
So whenever this podcast comes out, I'll probably have How Strong is Mirio up by then. So look out for that.
Oh yes.
Hell, I'll
Drop
look out
me
for
a-
that.
Drop me
yeah,
a link.
I should have thought about that. I'm thinking, yeah. I'm thinking of like today. You know, shit. I gotta think proactively. I gotta
I'm
think
sorry.
proactively. So
I
by
didn't
the
mean
time-
to throw shade
so by
like
the-
that.
So by the time this podcast drops, shit, I'll probably have like 40 videos out. I don't know.
Yeah.
A whole catalog, huh? Fuck y'all niggas. Oh shit. Nah, but wait, you're gonna probably wait like 4 or 5 days for this one. I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
Nah, I got y'all this weekend.
Bruh.
Most likely. It's Wednesday,
I
right?
skipped what?
Yeah, it's Wednesday. I got y'all like either Friday or Saturday.
Hey, I told everyone on my channel that you by tomorrow, Friday. So
Yo, what the fuck? Where's that video?
Oh shit. Alright guys, we'll see you guys next time. Like, subscribe, check the right channels like we said, and you already know. Yo!